Imagine looking up at the moon one night and realizing it's moving closer to Earth. At first, you might not notice, but the oceans would. Tides would grow enormous, hundreds of meters high, swallowing coastlines, flooding cities, and reshaping landscapes. The sheer force of the water alone would be catastrophic, leaving destruction wherever it touched. As the moon edges even closer, the planet itself begins to tremble. The Earth's crust would feel immense stress. Fault lines would rupture, mountains might shift, and earthquakes would ripple across continents. It would feel as though the planet itself were shaking, groaning under the moon's relentless pull. Volcanoes wouldn't stay silent. Magma deep inside the Earth would be forced upward, triggering eruptions around the globe. Lava would pour over landscapes, ash clouds would choke the skies, and gases would fill the atmosphere. The weather would go haywire, storms raging uncontrollably as the planet descends into chaos. The atmosphere itself would become a battleground. Hurricanes, tornadoes, and superstorms would whip across the planet. Combined with tidal waves hundreds of meters high, survival would become almost impossible even before the moon made contact. And then, the inevitable collision. The moon smashing into Earth would release energy beyond anything we can truly imagine, far more powerful than all the nuclear weapons humanity has ever created. The crust and mantle of both Earth and Moon would melt instantly, and shock waves would race across the planet, flattening everything in their path. The oceans wouldn't survive. They would vaporize in an instant, creating massive clouds of steam that would rise high into the atmosphere. Sunlight would be blocked, weather systems would collapse, and life as we know it would be wiped out. Billions of tons of debris would shoot into space. Some fragments might orbit Earth, forming temporary rings like Saturn, while others would escape entirely into the solar system. These flying rocks would create additional hazards, striking anything left standing on the planet. The surface of Earth would be unrecognizable. Massive craters, new mountain ranges, and scorched landscapes would stretch across continents. Features that took millions of years to form would be erased in moments, replaced with chaos. The heat from the impact would create a global magma ocean, covering vast stretches of the planet. The surface could remain molten for thousands, maybe millions of years. Dust and toxic gases would fill the skies, blocking sunlight and making the planet uninhabitable for anything resembling life. Even long after the collision, Earth would remain unstable. Its rotation could shift, changing the length of days and nights. Its axial tilt might wobble, creating chaotic or extreme seasons. Some regions could freeze while others remain molten, a permanently unbalanced world. Eventually, the Earth would cool enough for oceans to reform, but life would have to start completely over. The scars of the collision craters, mountains, and debris would serve as permanent reminders of the apocalypse. The world would be completely unrecognizable. Now here's the fascinating part. Something like this has actually happened before. About 4.5 billion years ago, Earth was hit by a Mars-sized object called Theia. That colossal collision partially melted and vaporized both bodies. But instead of destroying Earth, it created the Moon. Since then, no object of that size has come anywhere close to colliding with our planet. Even the largest impacts, like the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs 66 million years ago, were tiny compared to the Moon. Could it happen today? No. In fact, the Moon is moving away from Earth at about 3.8 centimeters per year, not toward us. There's no known object in the solar system that could collide with Earth on that scale. Any moon-sized impact now would obliterate the planet entirely, but it remains purely theoretical. Still, imagining it reminds us just how fragile and dynamic Earth really is. The Moon plays a crucial role in stabilizing our planet. It keeps our tilt steady, regulates our seasons, and helps maintain a climate where life can thrive. Without it, Earth would be far more unpredictable and hostile. So the next time you gaze at the Moon, remember, it's not just a rock in the sky. It's a guardian, a stabilizer, and a silent witness to the delicate balance that makes life on Earth possible. Thinking about what would happen if it fell teaches us more than just science. It reminds us how extraordinary our planet is, and how lucky we are to have a moon that quietly protects us,